Hello friends, recently I put it up this particular video regarding the T1 defense building the layer till T4. So in this particular video guys, let me show you the few outcomes against the K45, how well you can defend against the K45 even when you have the suppose 1 billion T1 and the 500 million T2 something, right? So whatever the reports I'm going to show it to you, whatever the outcome I'm gonna show it to you. In those outcome I had the T1 T2 and I think in the T3 I had the 90 million something max, right? So how well we can defend against the K45 or how many hit we can actually take once we have the that kind of the quantity available. So let's check it out guys. And even few more points I will specify that will help you out in avoiding the some of the critical hits as well, right? So all of these reports are guys from the K45 hit, Archer, Caps, Ground, Siege, all the hits I'm gonna show. Now all of these reports guys would be from the K45 with T16 and all of these reports are from the recent Calons, right? Now, firstly, guys, let me specify the one thing. As you can see, this is the my T1 quantity. So, suppose you have the 2 billion something, so obviously you would be having the better outcome than me, right? And apart from that, you can see my buffs as well. So, suppose if in case you have the better buff, so obviously you would be having the better outcome than me, right? And you can see the debuff as well. So if you have the better debuff, so obviously you would be having the better outcome than me, right? And apart from it, there are the more factors. Suppose you have the heavy ground layers and having the more or better ground buffs. So obviously against the archer attack, you would be having the better outcome than me. But obviously against the ground and calf, you would be losing more. But let put it aside all of those factors. On the basic side, if you have the better buffs, you have the better debuffs, and you have the better quantity, so obviously you would be having the better outcome than me. And apart from it, now firstly guys, all of these reports are from the Calons, and in any of these reports, I'm not doing any ghosting because in the battlefield, it's not like I would have lost anything in the real time, so I wasn't doing any ghosting. So obviously if you will do the ghosting and all, then obviously you will have the much better outcome in terms of the exchange, right? So firstly let's start from the this particular hit. Again, this is from the K45, 9 million plus mark size. Buffs are not that high. It is the 3.9k something ground buffs, right? And let me show you the reports. You can see the major damage is coming from the my higher tire ground that I had. That right now you can see it. Otherwise, apart from it, this particular hit, wasn't even able to clear the whole ground layer top to bottom. Right? If I will look at the report, then till T7 was able to clear my ground layer, but from the T6 ground onward and even my whole calf layer are properly intact till the bottom. And in this particular report, as you can see, I had the 97 million something T3, T2, and the T1 1 billion something, and almost to none, no effect on the below T1, T2, T3, right? And let me show you the layers of the players. So T16 3 million plus, T15 3.5 million, T14, T13, and then all the layer till the bottom, right? Now after this particular hit, same player tried another hit. Now after the ground hit, the same player tried another hit, and this was the archer hit, 9 million something mark size and the 4k something buffs, right? These are my buffs and the my debuffs, right? And here you can see the maximum damage is coming from the higher tire cap. So suppose if I would have been ghosting, then obviously I would have reduced down the damage to almost to none, right? So in the below T1, if you will see how much I'm losing, so it's hardly the much 26 million I can see on the T3, rest T2, T1 almost intact, right, from the archer attack, right? So major damage that is coming from these 2.5 million something T14 calf layer, right? And again, this is the layering of the player. Not much there within the T16 archer, otherwise 10k layers top to bottom, and from the T15, T14, T13, and a proper march, till the bottom, right? And again, guys, you can see this was the continuous hit from the same player. So from the first ground hit, I lost the my higher tier ground layer. I think it till T7. So you can see in this report, I didn't had those ground layers, right? I only had the calves layer, archer layer, and the siege layers, right? And in this particular attack, I have lost even the calves layer as well, and the ground layer I lost in the previous attack. Now, guys, after the ground and archer, there was the third continuous attack from the same player, and that was the calf set. Now, this is the such a wonderful report, and the reason is why. Firstly, this is in 9 million plus march size, 4K above buff, half march, right? And let me show you the firstly the layering of the player. T16 heavy 1.7, 1.8 million something, T16, T15, T14, T13, T12 with 10K something layer top to bottom, right? Properly layered march, right? And we were able to take the hit when we had almost no ground or calf layer, from top to bottom. If in case, guys, some of you have watched my previous videos, then you must be aware that the how important is the ground and calf layer within the defense, and without it it's almost like that the calves, ground, and archer, all of these mark make it direct hit on the below these T1s, right? And how critical those hits can be. Now even from the K45 with T16, even with the continuous attack, when we were continuously losing the layers without healing back anything, still we were able to take the hit pretty effectively, right? Now, if in case, guys, some of you didn't watch my older videos, so I'm just giving you the example. Usually, after losing your ground and caps layer, that's how your keep looks like. So, whenever any ground or caps attack or even the archer attack is coming up, they make the direct hit on these below T1 layers, right? Without going through any layer, right? So, that's why you start losing way much compared to the usual once you lose these ground and caps layer. So that's why healing back ground and calves layer is absolutely important, right? Now let me show you the guys one more scenario. Now guys, let me show you the more reports from the different K45 players and the some more scenarios that might help you out, right? Now guys, let's check it out the this particular report. In this report, I have the 1.4 billion something T1, and this is also the another K45 player, and this is the siege buff 4.2K something, and these are the my buffs and my debuffs, right? Now firstly let me show you the what kind of the layers players were using. 10K layers top to bottom, and these are the siege layer, the 100K, then the T15, T14, T13, T12, T11, and the 10K layers, till the bottom within the siege march, right? And within the defense, what I lost again, firstly the my siege layer top to bottom, and then the afterwards what I have lost, is my archer layer, top to bottom, right? As you can see, all of my siege and archer layers are gone, top to bottom. And after the siege attack, the same player hit me with this was the archer march, right? Again, buffs are 4.4K something. And let me show you the layering, guys. These are the layer, the T16 in the T16 archer, 500K something, T15, T13, T14, T13, T12, T11, properly layered march, till the bottom with 10K layers, right? And this was the outcome, right? Again, I had the some 1 million something T14 caps as well. Apart from it, the only the small layers, archer layer and the siege layer, I lost in the previous siege attack. Then afterwards, what I had, I lost the 300 million something T2, and I had the little T3 layers as well, right? Now, why this kind of the outcome? So let me give you the one example, guys. Now, Usually, guys, after any proper high buff siege attack, that's how your keep will going to look like, right? You would be losing your siege layer and even your archer layers as well. You can forget about the siege. Let's focus on the archer, right? So if you do not have the archer layer top to bottom, right, you can expect that whatever the capacity of archer attack on your keep is, then usually archer hit on your keep, would be having almost the double or more than the double the damage. So in my previous video, you might be aware I already mentioned if in case you don't have the calf layer till the bottom, then you will take the direct hit on these T1s and you will lose more than the usual, right? You will almost take the critical hit. Similarly, even if in case you don't have the archer layers, top to bottom, still archer will going to hit hard almost with the double the damage, right? So make sure you at least have the calves and archer layer, right? Now, guys, let's check it out the more reports so that we can understand that from the different K45 players, what kind of the outcome we getting on our key, right? So now, guys, let's check it out the this particular report. Again, this is the Archer hit 5K, almost the 5K Archer hit, right? From the K45 player, this is what I'm losing, and this is what this player is losing, right? And what I had within my defense, some of the ground archer layer, caps layers 700k something, right? And the below layers, right? And in the below T1s, I had the T3 almost the nil 10 million something. And I'm taking this hit with the T2 and the T1 only, right? 1 billion T1 and the 400 million plus T2. And these are the layers of player. T16, 300k something, T15, T14, T13, T12, a proper march with all the layers till bottom, right? And this was the outcome. Now let's check it out the more reports. Now, apart from the initial three reports, those were the continuous hit. All of these reports that right now I'm going to show it to you, all were within the one particular Calon's round only, right? Multiple K45 were there and they were hitting me left and right, right? So all of these reports I'm showing from the one particular Calon's round only, right? So this was the ground hit, uh, 4.5k something ground buffs, my buffs, my debuffs, right? And here you can see I only had the small layers, top to bottom, right? And in the below T1s I had, right, T3 I had almost to none, right? And T2 I had the 130 million something and the T1 1 billion something, right? And this was the layering of the other players, T16, T15, heavy T14, almost the 6 million something, right? And the 2 million something T13 and all the layers, till the bottom, properly layered march, right? And this was the outcome from the K45. Now, these reports might not be within the order, otherwise, apart from the initial three reports, those were there within the different Calon's round. All of these K45 hit, even the siege, archer, ground, whatever I'm going to show it to you is from the one particular Talon's round only, right? And they were hitting me left and right, until I had almost, nothing left, right? Now another hit from the K45 player, 9 million Mars size, and in at this time I had the 1 billion something T1, right? 4.8k something ground buffs, my buffs, my debuff, right? And here again I have only had the smaller layers, and again in terms of the small layer, all the ground and cap layer were gone, right? And I had the, even the T2 I had almost to none and below T1, right? And these were the layers of the other K45 players, some T16, T15, right? T14, T13, properly layered ground marks, right? Now let's check it out the more. Yeah, let me show you this particular report as well. This is not from the K45. I have only added the one K44 report just to give you guys an example. Now in this particular report, guys, I only have the 500 million T1 something, and this particular player is hitting with me with 7.3 million mass size, right? Buff is the 4.2k archer buff, right? And you can see I am taking the hit with almost the minimum layers, right? And I had the 500 million something T1 and the some little T2, no T3 or almost too little, right? And but still taking the hit pretty effectively, 4.2k buff and almost losing almost to nothing, in terms of the T1, right? Now, why I'm showing this particular report, guys, because there is a huge difference when someone is hitting you with the T16. In so many scenario, outcome will change drastically, right? So suppose if any K45 hitting you with the suppose 8 million or 8.2 million mark size with hardly the 1 million mark size difference, even with the same kind of the buffs, right? With T16, then you should expect that you most potentially will going to lose a lot, right? Most potentially if you have the 500 million T1, then I feel that in the most of the scenario, max you will be able to take the one hit. If you get lucky, then might be the two hit. Otherwise, after the one hit on the second hit, most of the K45 I think that will zero you, right? Right? Considering if you have the similar kind of the buffs or the debuffs, right? But from the K40 with the similar kind of the buff and debuff, you can expect to have the multiple hits, right? And even by healing the some smaller layers, you can keep going on, right? Now let's check it out, guys. More reports as well. Now again, this is also the another K45 player with 8 million mark size, and this was the cap set guy. And these are the my buffs, my debuffs, right? And in this particular report, defense, you can see most of the damage what I'm getting is from these ground layers, the 1 million something, even some below ground layers as well. But from this particular cap set, you will see that this cap set, is even unable to clear my ground layers, right? If I will see, you know, only till T8 ground layers is being cleared, otherwise T7 onwards all my layers are pretty much intact, right? Even the caps layers are also there, till the bottom, right? And let me show you the layers of the players, 5k layers top to bottom, T16 some smaller quantity, otherwise T15, T14, T13, T12, and then proper layers, till the bottom, right? So this time we had the ground and calf layers, right? Even the 4K something calf attack, hardly did anything. In terms of the T1, T2, hardly did anything, and even in terms of clearing the layers, even was unable to clear the ground layers, right? Now let's check it out. The some more reports from the same Calon's round, right? Again, the another ground hit from the another K45 player, 4.8k something ground buffs, my debuffs, right? And in this particular report, the maximum damage that is coming is from the ground layers, right? As you can see, the 2.3 million something, T14, T13, and even I had the higher tier caps layers as well, right? As you can see, the max damage is coming from the hair. Otherwise, in bottom, I had the T3 90 million something, T2 T1, but in below, not much damage, right? And these are the layers of the attacking players, right? T16, T15, 2 million above, right? The T heavy, T14, T15, or sorry, T13, T12, and the proper layers, till the bottom, right? Now let me show you the guys more report. Now let's check it out this particular report, guys. Now this is also very interesting report in this again firstly this is from the K45 8.2 million mark size, and these are the buffs. 5.2k plus archer tag, these are the my buffs, my debuffs, right? And here you can see the my layers. Again, I had the 2 million higher tier caps as well that you can ghost, and obviously you will receive the some lesser damage, right? Otherwise, you can see when I'm losing the some of my higher tier archer as well, more than what they actually killing, some damage even within the ground as well. And even you can see I'm losing the some of my little siege as well, 300k something, 200k something, right? Even the 400k something, right? Now in the bottom, let me show you the my layers, right? T3 89 million something I had that I lost, and in the T2 I have lost the 120 million something, right? So that was the T1 that I was having something. Now let me show you the guys the layering of the player, right? So this was the layering of the player: 250k ground, 250k caps, and the 250k siege, right? So whatever the little siege layer I was losing, so obviously this siege cleared all those layers, obviously the more damage. And apart from the 250k ground layer is there, and even the 250k the caps layer is also there. And apart from it, it is the 1 million T16, 1 million T15, 1 million T14, T13, T12, T11, and the properly layered march, till the bottom, right? Now these kind of the layers, guys, within the archer is pretty interesting, right? And many of you have to be extra careful if in case you are playing with the minimum small layer within your T1 defense key. Now, if in case guy you want to improve the outcome, then how you can do the things are pretty simple. Build the more quantity within these tires, right? Automatically you will have the better outcome. And the why, if you would be having the more of this T1, T2, T3, right, then obviously your per round damage would be more. So ground and caps 110%, you can crush more easily, right? Right? You can improve your buffs as well, you can improve your debuffs as well, and that will automatically improve your outcome, right? Right now I can also improve my debuff, even I have not done the speciality of any of my debuff general, but as of now, as I'm not playing within the big alliances, so defense is not the priority for me, because whatever I have is more than enough, for the defense. Even whatever the matchup I'm getting within the battlefield, I don't think that anyone can penetrate that many T1 even on the rally, right? Now, on the basis of whatever the matchup I have, because I'm not playing within the big alliances, but if you playing within the big alliance, right, you guys, you should not think about taking the rally, right? Because any rally from the K45, even the K44, decent size rally, decent buff rally, without a decent rain can easily clear the, these T1 keep, almost perfectly, right? So if you're playing within the big alliances without a hardcore reinforcement, do not try to, take any decent size archer rally or even the caps rally, I would say, right? Right? But as I'm playing within the small alliances, right? So as of now, that many T1 is enough for me. I will build the more T3 and the T4 once I would be having the T15 and some more attacking buff, right? And then afterwards, I will try to improve my debuffs as well. So, yep, guys, I think yes, this is it for this particular video. And thank you, guys. Thanks for watching. And we'll see you all in the next video. And bye bye for now.